Hey everyone, checking back in on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin here on the shorter term time frames. If you saw the video I did yesterday, just really did an impromptu live version. I was going to do a recorded video and then figured we're live trading on the weekend, might as well go live. So check that out. Mostly I'm describing a pattern that you're going to see form all over the place, what I call the equilibrium pattern, and I'll point out one here again. But that is on our YouTube channel if you want to check that out. And I'll do those a bit more in the future, usually on weekends because I'm doing the stock market most of the time during the weekday. So here on Bitcoin, we have a very clear lower high, lower low pattern on the hourly time frame. And if you were looking for a bullish entry, you would need to see this change. We do have a bullish reversal hammer here with a long lower wick, a bull's buying the dip off of 1702. That also aligns with 1700 psychological. I'll always be watching where those psychological levels are. But that is the short-term support. If we lose 1700, we're looking down at 1671, the previous low back here where we bounced off of. But in order to see the trend change, what we're going to need to happen is to see a bounce attempt. It's unlikely that we're going to break the lower high here on our first bounce attempt. 1767 is that level. So we're going to have to form a bounce, set another lower high, pull back, set a higher low compared to this low of 1702, and then try and break the lower high pattern to see continuation. Very rarely will you see a stock or trading asset, I guess we'll call it here, a cryptocurrency, go straight from the low of the pullback and then break the lower high pattern. We have to see a lower high, higher low, and then a higher high in order for the bulls to shift around that momentum. And looking at things on the daily time frame, we can see the equilibrium pattern is still forming. Our high, low of the pullback, lower high was established yesterday. We were highlighting that in the video, and now we're looking for another higher low to form to keep this equilibrium pattern tightening up. No clear break there. ETH made a bull break over the weekend, and last night we were highlighting how the pattern was getting extremely tight, and we were seeing a clear resistance of $90, and as soon as $90 broke, look at the volume. Volume is always our indication for strength. Big bull volume showed up when $90 broke. And over the next few hours, we ran significantly up over 5% in 6-7 hours. So since then, we started pulling back, and we're seeing a lot of ETH on the ask. And in my opinion, it's intentional unless it's just really not smart traders. You're not going to throw up 800 ETH on one level trying to sell it. You would break that up and sell it in $100 lots or 100 ETH lots if you really wanted them to be bought. Otherwise, you're just trying to scare people into selling and perhaps loading down cheaper. So here on ETH, the red flag for the short term was the inability to break 94.70. We topped out at 94.70 and then 94.60. And right here is when we had a bunch of asks start showing up, and they were piling on, and they were trying to look intimidating. There's no way that anybody is going to throw 1,000 ETH up on the same level wanting that 1,000 ETH to be bought, again, unless they're not smart and they don't know how to trade. Otherwise, it's people wanting the price to drop down, and we went from there, 94.60, down to 89.90. We saw a 4 or 5% drop in just 2 hours. Actually, that's a half hour due to that key wall. So we now have an equilibrium pattern on the 15-minute where we have our low of the pullback, the high of the bounce at 92.90, our higher low at 90.22, our lower high at 92.62, and you can just see this range after the drop in volatility is just going to tighten up, and we're going to see a clear break of this range sometime in the next, let's say 3 hours or so. So that's what I'm going to be watching for a break. We have our clear lower highs, our clear higher lows, and a tightening pattern. So looking at things on the daily time frame, ETH bulls made a significant break. I've got all these lines here. I'll clean them up before the next video. But we had our high, the all-time high, low of consolidation, lower high on the bounce after that consolidation, higher low, and then a higher high. Breaking 91.98 was a bullish break, and the goal for the bulls is to close on the daily time frame above $92 to turn that level back into support. LTC has some nice short-term dip buying day trade opportunities. We're dumping here with lower highs and lower lows, but look at the 5-minute time frame. I keep pointing out the RSI when it dips under 30 to buy. That's a buying opportunity. So here on the dump, the RSI dipped down under 20, and we went from 25.67 up to 26.92 in 10 minutes. That is a 4% bounce in 10 minutes and a really nice day trading opportunity from oversold conditions. We're now trying to see the bulls defend here. We haven't built a support. We're trying to build support at 25.51, 25.57, and the bulls are going to have to get up and break 26.92 in order to change this 5-minute downtrend. So the bears are absolutely in control of LTC in the short term right now. And the daily time frame is a completely different setup where we have our high, our low of the pullback, lower high, and if we break 25.04, it is a very clear bear break, and it will be the exact opposite of ETH, what ETH just did, making a bull break from its tightening pattern. We're close to making a bear break to it from the tightening pattern. So LTC bulls must hold the $25 range. Otherwise, we're looking down at $22.67 as the next support. So as of right now, today, ETH is the strongest. Bitcoin is in a consolidation pattern on the daily of higher low, lower highs. ETH is in that same pattern, but on the 15-minute time frame, shorter term. That's what I'm watching for a trade. And LTC, the hourly time frame, is trying to confirm a bullish reversal candlestick. But as of right now, we're not seeing much confirmation. That's a bullish reversal doji. Need a green candlestick on this hourly to try and confirm it and try and turn around the downtrend, or try at least see a short-term bounce for these bulls. Must hold 25.04. So I appreciate you watching, and we'll keep checking back in as always. Have a great night, day, everything.